Good morning. My name is Kenneth Halverson. I'm a bachelor's student at the University of Phoenix. This presentation is for Communications 218 team assignment. I would like to let everybody know there will be pauses in the presentation for questions, as well as all questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. So please, hold your questions until the end. Thank you. How many of you have cell phones? I have mine right here. I never leave home without it. I get all my emails, internet, Word documents, oh yeah, calls and text as well. It's basically a mini computer that fits in my pocket. You know, if I think about it, I don't think I can live without it. How many of you are the same way? Let me tell you some facts about cell phones that will blow your mind. Thanks to Pew Research, we now know 90% of American adults have cell phones, and 58% of those Americans have smartphones. 29% of cell phone owners describe their cell phones as something they can't live without. A big chunk of that is probably in this audience. Let me ask you a question. How many of you have ever played games on your smartphone? I bet most of you at one time or another have played some kind of game on your cell phone. Am I right? You bet. And I bet you had fun, right? Well, this brings us to why I'm here. Hire Solutions is an information technology company specializing in software development and network architecture. This company has decided to develop a game in order to enter a new market. I am part of Team B and one of the teams allocated in the conceptual design and presentation of this new game. Please allow me to introduce a new cell phone game and character you're absolutely going to love. Jack the Climber. Trust me, I'm excited about this. But before I get into it too far, let me tell you a little bit about this game, okay? And I hope you're not afraid of heights. This game will give you vertigo. Jack is a painter, and he is dressed in white overalls, casually splattered with paint that get more paint on him as the game progresses. Don't let Jack's demeanor fool you. Jack is a very hard worker, constantly running around his small town, painting up all the houses, as many as he can without getting pummeled by any more paint cans. Jack's world is picturesque, to say the least. Each house is different. They're barns, brick houses, houses with siding, even glass houses, and many, many more. Jack is not a dedicated painter, per se. So, as he climbs higher and higher, he forgets about the houses and just wants to get to the top of the ladder. As Jack climbs higher and higher, you can see the sky and clouds in the background. Although depending on how good you are, you just might see the earth fall away from your feet. This all sounds fun, but I bet you want to know more about the objectives, rules, and limits. I would like to take this moment and ask the audience, is there any questions so far? Let me remind you, we will have a question and answer session at the end of the presentation. I will answer any questions pertaining to this presentation. Okay, great. Let's move forward then. Does anybody know what 14.74 billion stands for? The estimated size of mobile gaming market in 2017, according to Entertainment Software Association's ESA. Now, sounds like a good time to get into this market, right? The game we're looking at is Jack the Climber. Jack is an excellent climber. So you'll understand when I say the problem comes when the wind blows paint cans off the roofs and through the air, always at Jack. You see, the objective for Jack is to climb ladders. As Jack climbs, he dodges left and right, as well as keeping the ladders balanced. It takes a steady hand to keep Jack climbing higher and higher. It is no surprise the goal of the game is to get Jack as high as possible. Now, Jack climbs up ladders higher and higher till he falls. The trick is to balance the ladder with the gyroscopes in your smartphone, keeping Jack from falling. Now, while dodging falling paint cans with the swipe of your finger across the screen, left or right. Pertaining to the rules, players get 4 lives at the beginning of the game, as well as there are levels after each 5 ladders. The game automatically saves your progress, so there's no worries there. But if you lose one of Jack's lives, you start at the last saved ladder. I understand games like this sound simple and easy, but it's just a tool everyday working individuals, as well as people who just need to break up the monotonous day-to-day activities and work on a little eye-hand coordination that's fun. This is not unlike one of the most popular cell phone games on the market today, which is Candy Crush or Angry Birds. These games are relatively simple, but they add quick and easy mindless fun that's addictive. Have you ever played these games? It's no surprise. I must admit it. I have become addicted to Candy Crush and Angry Birds, as well as many other catchy cell phone games. It's no surprise, but I can't wait for the release of Jack the Climber. There are thousands of these games flooding the market. It's one of the fastest growing sectors in programming today. According to ESA 2013, Essential Facts About the Computer and Video Game Industry, 36% of gamers play games on their smartphones, and 25% play on their wireless devices. These are impressive numbers. But ESA goes on to say there are currently 6.8 billion mobile phone subscriptions in the world. Almost as many subscriptions as there are people, compared to 1 billion subscriptions in 2002. The mobile gaming sector owes its bright future to the strong technology habits that these people, particularly the teenagers among them, have developed. I think we all know, or at least have an idea, how big the market is. Do we have any questions so far? Okay. If there are no questions, let's move on to player interactions, control games, modes, and tools. At this point, I would like to check and see if the audience has been paying attention. I got a couple of questions I would like to ask, and I need your full attention. Are you ready? Okay. Here we go. Question number 1. What asks no question but demands an answer? A ringing telephone. Question number 2. What did the man say when he got a big phone bill? Who said talk is cheap? Question number 3. Why did the chicken walk on the telephone wire? She wanted to lay it on the line. Look, I understand my jokes are bad, but the last thing anyone wants to do is question anybody's intelligence. This is not going to be a game designed for intelligent, hardcore gamers. We would like to reach a broader market, one that children can think is fun, as well as young folks, middle-aged people, and the aging generations. Anyone who can open a cell phone app should find Jack the Climber challenging and fun. This is why the player interactions and controls are, yep, you guessed it, fairly simple. Jack the Climber climbs up the ladder at a steady, preordained rate of movement, although the higher the level, the faster Jack climbs. Without the need to control Jack's climbing speed, you can balance the phone with one hand, keeping Jack balanced on his ladder. You utilize your free hand to swipe left or right. On the screen, this way, Jack dodges the falling paint cans. And of course, as the level progresses, the paint cans will fall faster and faster and more frequent. But if I stopped, this should be enough to sell you on the game. I can see you're on the edge of your seat, scratching and clawing to get your hands on Jack the Climber. But wait, there's more. There will be 3 game modes. A regular mode where Jack just climbs and you see how high you can reach. A time trial mode. In this mode, everything is extreme. This is where you get a certain amount of time to get as high as possible. Although be it the paint cans fall faster and Jack climbs faster, the time trial mode puts all settings on maximum, a true test of yours and Jack's ability. And challenge a friend mode. In this mode, the game needs to be linked through Facebook or Google+, a social networking site. You just sign in with your Facebook credentials. This way you'll be able to see scores of your friends and you'll be able to post your scores as well, challenging your friends and yourself to do better. Since from the top of social networking sites, I would just like to point out, according to Pew Research, 71% of online adults use Facebook. And the growing ubiquity of cell phones, especially the rise of smartphones, has made social networking just a finger tap away. Fully 40% of cell phone owners use social networking sites on their phones, and 28% do so on a typical day. I'm going to throw another number at you from Mashable, a website. $30,000. Do you know what this number is? This is the average cost to develop and publish a cell phone app. I see my time is running out. Let me bring this presentation to a close. But let's not forget who brought us here. Higher Solutions and its decision to develop a game in order to enter a new market. I am part of Team B, and as so, I have and will give my full attention to this project, design, development, and execution. Some things that I would like you to take home with you to remember is 90% of American adults have cell phones. 58% of those Americans have smartphones, stated by Pew Research. And there are currently 6.8 billion mobile phone subscriptions in the world. Almost as many subscriptions as there are people. And the number, let's not forget the number, 14.74 billion with a B. The estimated size of the mobile games market in 2017. According to ESA, now that's only 3 years away. I think now, right now, is the time to jump on the wagon with both feet. This is a market that is ready for Higher Solutions to develop a game and tap into this expanding, growing smartphone, cell phone gaming market. One thing we know is true. There is more and more humans being born on this earth. And more humans will be purchasing cell phones. As the numbers show, there is room for growth and expansion within this market. The flagship game, Jack the Climber, will be a memorable, fun, and entertaining smartphone game for the masses. Having the ability for it to connect to social media networks such as Facebook and Google Plus only expands its commercialization. We in the professional world understand how important word of mouth is to growing of a company or its products. This is but one thing Jack the Climber has going for it. Think about it. One person plays the game, gets hooked, sends their friends the link. And they send it to their friends, and their friends send it to their friends. Thanks to social media, they start playing. Now you got a snowball effect. There is no stopping it. The commercialization of this game basically takes care of itself. The only thing we need to focus on is the interactive gameplay and making sure it's fun for more than one genre of cell phone user. Now, not to count my chickens before they hatch, but it's a fun, entertaining, and quite addictive game to play, if I do say so myself. And I do. Not to let you know what I do in my spare time, but I have played my share of cell phone games. As we know, when something goes viral, it explodes on the internet. And the only way for something to go viral is to get it out there. Get it into the hands of the people who are going to be using it and make it the best that we can make it. Jack the Climber is this kind of game. Thank you for your time and attention. This has been a pleasurable presentation for me. It's not every day I get to speak to such an attentive audience. I've really enjoyed the feedback, and I could tell you're interested in what I had to say. Thank you again. Now at this time, I will turn the floor over and ask the audience, is there any other questions for me? If this is it, all cleared up, I thank you once again and have a good day.